Hi, Jennifer here. I want to talk about boundaries. Now, if you've grown up with toxic parents or narcissistic mom or dad, it is likely that boundaries have been a major issue most of your life. When we have a toxic parent, they cross our boundaries and actually we don't have any boundaries. And so we grow up thinking that we need to be giving wholeheartedly, keeping other people happy and ourselves in an unsafe environment, which is the opposite of what healthy boundaries actually do. Setting healthy boundaries allows us to stay in integrity, take care of ourselves, prioritizing our needs, and it is a self-care. It's an act of self-care. When we don't have boundaries, we are allowing people to perhaps step on the things that we love, and and instead we're not safe emotionally or safe physically. And I'll tell you a couple of little stories. My son called me this morning. I'm going to see Emmett, my grandson, and he asked me if I could leave at 5 o'clock, which is a very clear boundary. He asked me, are you okay with that? But he and his wife have decided to put their child on a schedule, which is healthy. And so in that way, in that vein, of course I want to take care of my grandson. I want him to be happy and healthy. I want his parents to be happy and healthy. So David's setting this boundary. Sure, Mom, come and visit, but you'll need to leave by 5. Is that okay? Now, he didn't hurt my feelings. I was a little surprised, but I'm not upset because this is for his son and their relationship's highest and best, which is what we want, right? So we can be generous with others by setting healthy boundaries. We don't have to be bitchy or mean about it. So when we set a boundary, it's egoless. It's with compassion. We are taking care of ourselves and keeping ourselves safe. So what are boundaries? Putting your needs or making your needs a priority. Boundaries are self-care. Well, what could that mean? Well, it could mean if you're dating, and maybe you want to set your date for 7 o'clock instead of 9, because if you start your date at 9 o'clock, by 10, you're tired and falling asleep. And so you want to have an earlier date. That's a boundary. It's taking care of your needs. What happens, though, when we don't set healthy boundaries? We lose ourselves. So setting healthy boundaries is a way of protecting ourselves emotionally and physically, prioritizing our needs. It's a self-care act so that we do not lose ourselves. Now, as someone who has lost myself in the past, I'm going to bitchy. Well, yes, you can be bitchy. People can set boundaries from a place of bitchiness, and that is ego. We don't need to be that way to set a boundary. We could request it sweetly, nicely. Sure, I'd love to go out with you for dinner. Could we do it earlier? That would be great for me, because by 10 o'clock, I'll be asleep in my chocolate pudding. You can just do it gently and nicely. You don't have to be a bitch about it. All right, so we run the risk of losing ourselves. How do we do that? Well, when we make everyone else's needs a priority and we are pleasing others as opposed to taking care of ourselves, we run the risk of losing ourselves, which is what a lot of women end up doing when they are raising children and cooking and cleaning and taking care of a household and maybe doing it all. We can lose ourselves when we're trying to make everyone else happy at our own expense. So let's just see. Yes, we definitely need boundaries at the southern border. There's absolutely we are running the risk of putting all of our country, the people that live in this country, in harm's way for disease, for sexual misconduct, rape, all kinds of things. Absolutely, I agree with that. Okay, so setting healthy boundaries, it's a priority. It is the way to have a healthy, balanced life and healthy, balanced relationships. And so thanks so much for watching. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me, I was hoping to finish before I had to do that. Bless me. Thank you so much for watching. I have several articles about boundaries. You can Google boundaries, Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I wrote one where I'm using a horse with the horse crop because horses and people, pardon me, horses and people have something in common there, that we all need to know what is okay to do and what isn't okay to do. And if you've ever trained a puppy, you know that puppies need boundaries, right? So do babies and children. We all do. It keeps us safe. So I invite you, check out my website, jenniferelizabethmasters.com. My 50% off sale ends this Sunday, so get it while it's hot. Thank you so much. I think you're beautiful too. I love you. Thanks for being here. Remember, boundaries are a good thing. They keep us all safe, and we can have more vulnerability, more trust, and more self-respect when we have those healthy boundaries in place. I love you. Thanks for watching.